Good evening. I hope you're doing really super well. I'm laughing because I just did my whole intro and then went, oh, because I was over on Facebook and trying to figure out why things weren't showing up like I was supposed to. Realized I hadn't pressed go. Oh, that's funny. So, hello, Melinda. Hello, Tamara. Hi, Christine. There's something pretty cool that good old StreamYard has brought in. You guys can now see at the side of the screen there. It's teeny tiny, even on my screen. But there you go. Your guys' comments are now coming up live. So how cool is that? You can now see it up the side of the screen. I'm hoping that it means that you guys will also, the Facebook people will also get to see the YouTube people and vice versa, which will be really nice if that's the case. Oh. Hello, Rick, and thank you for my rose. I appreciate that very much. Oh, that was a good combo. I put together plum and boysenberry with the black adder licorice. Delicious. So, hopefully you guys have all had a okay week, at least. I know our prediction for this last week was that it was going to be potentially a little bit rough, if not for us personally, for maybe people that we know. So I'm hoping that you guys had a reasonably easy week. I know. Hi, Amanda. Oh, how's the flooding over your end of the way, my dear? Some crazy weather. I did just see a post. Apparently, I don't need to see that. Apparently, there have been some sort of weather warnings happening here for South Australia as well. So high winds and all sorts of things for the people up the coast. So I hope everybody is going to be okay. And, just don't be silly out there on the roads and all, wherever you are. Be like Amanda. Be more like Amanda. Just sit tight and wait. Because, golly gosh, Amanda, you've certainly had quite the journey so far, haven't you? Quite the journey. Oh, gosh, that tastes good. I love it when I just let my body choose. It's like, it comes up with such interesting combinations. Then I just go, whereas if I try to go cognitively from my brain, it's like, it never, ever works out as nice. All righty, let's have a look. Let's have a look at our weekly reading, shall we? Oh gosh, we're going to be into our last week of May. Wow, where has this month gone? Holy guacamole. 4 trillion litres. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it did look pretty shocking with the photos that you popped up on your posts. That's for sure. There have been some pretty crazy times, that's for sure. Just be safe out there. Maybe you should have gone straight up the guts instead of going that way. Bearing in mind, I'm thinking about the map from my perspective, not necessarily anybody else's. So rather than heading east, maybe you should have just gone straight up. And then you could have passed through me, passed by me. And then I could have said hi. Yeah, wow. 74 trillion litres fell in the area. Is that a serious number? That is bonkers if it is. Ooh, we're burning some energy already, my beautiful ones. Okay, so we've got the beautiful Doreen Virtual Archangel Oracle cards. One of the very, very first ones, first packs that I ever got in my whole entire life. So they've been around for a long time. Let's have a look and see what's coming up for our month. Obviously, we're now in Gemini, if I remember rightly. So it's a bit of like the black and white, yes and no, polarity, da-da-da. Yeah. 10 Lake Argyles. It doesn't mean much to me either, but cool. It's still a hell of a lot of water, isn't it? Either way, it's all a hell of a lot of water. That's all I know about that. All right, so this week to come for the collective. So this is for the 24th of May through to the 30th of May. And it seems like my sarcasm, but yep, serious. Oh, that is just bonkers amount of water. I'm so glad that you guys are safe and that you haven't had any particular issues, like not really. From what you've said, you sort of like you're handling everything pretty well. So I'm very, very grateful that you've managed to choose a safe spot to settle for the moment. And I just hope you guys have got enough food and clean water and all that sort of jazz going on. Because I know that those are the two things that run out the fastest, don't they? So it's like it seems so ironic when you have so much water around you and you can't drink any of it. So it's so bonkers. Lake Argyle is in the Kimberleys. It's 11 to 22 times the size. That's a big variance of 11 to 22 times the size of Sydney Harbour. That's a very big variance, love. I don't understand what you mean by that. Anyway, let us have a look at this weekly reading for the collective. As we all know, with collective readings, you take what is appropriate or relevant to you. If it's not relevant to you, that's cool. It might be relevant to someone that you know. Either way, it's just a nice little bit of a heads up. One of these cards might be relevant, none of them, maybe all of them. So we'll have a look and see. We've got prioritize for this week to come. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you to get organized and motivated. So I'm sensing that some of us are going to go through a little bit of a lull this week, perhaps, where we know that there's a lot of things to do and we're just not getting to and doing them. We're being a little bit procrastinating this week. So it just focus on keeping things, maybe do a list. I love a good list. I had a fantastic list to work from in a spring clean the other day, and it was brilliant. And the lady had done it herself, and I just, every time I did a little bit, I ticked it off, and it was amazing. I love a good list. So perhaps maybe over this weekend, write a little list of things that you would like to achieve between, say, tomorrow and next Friday. So in the next 7 days, write a list of things that you would like to achieve. And that way it's not as daunting as trying to think about what am I going to achieve in the next 10 years or 5 years or even 2 years or even 12 months. 12 months can even be quite daunting. So just 7 days and give yourself a little priority. This will then lead to some peace. Because the other cool thing about writing a nice list that you can then prioritize is it gives you peace of mind. And so you're not having to hold that amount of stuff up in your brain. It's on the paper, you can see it, and then it's like, now my brain can have a bit of peace, right? So peace comes from remembering that only love is real, is what the card actually says. So at the end of the day, just remember that all around you, Tony, I've only just started, darling. You're okay. The first card was prioritize. Write a list for the next 7 days. Peace is the next card. Just remember, if you're writing stuff down and you have a list, yes, you guys can see the YouTube people as well. Awesome. You'll be able to have a bit more peace inside your brains. Okay? So you're all good. The next card that we've got for the collective is spiritual understanding. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols, helping you to understand spiritual truths. Now, some of you, I know we've had some messages backwards and forwards over the last couple of weeks of talking about numbers, seeing those lovely numbers popping up, and looking at what they mean for you, that sort of thing. So that's really cool, right? I get the sense that there is, because we've got, oh gosh, what was it, Saturn or Pluto? Don't quote me on that, but it's one or the other, or even both of them are floating around at the moment. There's a lot more of the symbology coming through. There's a lot more of the stuff coming through in Dreamscape. There's possibly people doing a lot more astral travel at the moment. I know for me this week, my sleep has been absolutely atrocious. Waking up in the middle of the night, having big, massive downloads. Sometimes it's been messages for other people that I've had to pass on. Yes, exactly, Christine. 1111, 111s. We've had 123s. Today I saw 444s. My speedometer has just, on my work car, I think it was, it's just clicked over to like 222 or something like that, kilometers. Loads of really interesting numbers. So yeah, but don't be surprised if other stuff is starting to come through too at the moment, even more so than usual. Christine heard it was Pluto as well. So yeah, cool. Melinda's also had a really shitty sleep this week. Hi, Julie. So yeah, this is all to do with all this lovely spiritual upgrading that we're doing right now. I'm doing some really deep relationship stuff right now, upgrading, letting go of some really, really old stuff. And currently my heart and my ego are in a little bit of a battle. That's fun. And that your ego only works from what it's already experienced in this particular lifetime. So, I just know that it's been supported by this lovely entrance of Pluto. I've heard some conflicting things, whether it's going to last for 2.5 weeks or whether it's going to last for about 3 months. You figure out what's going to work best for you, I guess, or what's true for you. So I hope it doesn't last for 3 months. It would be nice if it doesn't last that long. I don't know if I can deal with that much lack of sleep. But yeah. Exactly, Tamara. Fun times indeed. So lots of spiritual energies, spiritual symbolism, and all of that sort of stuff going on right now. Highly recommend, you just start writing some of that shit down. And interesting, my ear just got really itchy as I went to go and pick up this next card, which is clear audience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. So along with all of that, a bit like what I was saying, how I've got this lovely little interesting rebalancing act between my ego and my heart going on right now. this is also to do with me listening to my heart rather than my head, because sometimes our head can be a little bit dominating, and it's like it's okay to sort of soothe that. That's why we've been having a lot of conversations in the weeks leading up to this week, or this period of time, talking about doing our inner child work. And sometimes our inner child work is actually like our inner child being in our 20s, or just that kind of space in our lives where we were still growing and developing and shifting and changing and figuring out our place in the world. So just keep close to people who love you lots, and don't listen too hard to the people that don't. Okay. So yeah, Tony, that's awesome that you've got a friend that's an astrologist. That's so cool. Fantastic. That was just Perry popping in. Oh, mate, dude, we had perimenopause and premenstrual and Pluto. We had the 3 Ps. Like, oh lordy, we had the trifecta this week. It was not pleasant. I can tell you that much. Oh, that too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The itchy ear thing is definitely perimenopause too. But when I'm in this space, it's more so to do with messages and things from teens, etc. Sacred is our key word for this week. So your journey that you are all on right now is sacred. And I think your teams just want you to remember that. Just keep that in mind for when you are coming through this week to come. I think it's still going to be a little bit crunchy, perhaps. So just remember, keep your loved ones close, and oh, Amanda, if only. Prioritize peace, spiritual understanding, and clear audience. So what this is telling me is that we might be a little bit higgledy-piggledy this week. We might feel a little bit distracted, and it's okay if that is the case. So just breathe. Remember, you're a sacred being, and that this is a sacred journey, and try not to be too much in your polarity of I'm right and you're wrong. Just be open to hearing first. Take a breath, let the people speak, and then, or whoever is crunching up your world, let them speak, or speak up yourself. So hopefully that helps the collective. Hopefully. And gives you a little bit of a heads up. It's always nice to have a heads up, isn't it? Alrighty, so okay, let me just check our list. Cool. So Tamara, my love, you are first off the block tonight, and then we've got Christine's very quick question, and then Francesca, you are next after that. Yeah. Haven't had a headache in over 10 years now. And Tony, just wanted to acknowledge this week's already been hard. I'm getting there each day. But I had to give my cat Nala away on Tuesday. I bawled my eyes out, but she's gone to an awesome home. More spoilt there than I did. Aww. Sending you lots and lots of love, Tony. I can imagine that would have been just such a hard thing to do. And I'm sure Nala will be absolutely so spoiled. Sorry, we're just now going through things that start with P. All right. So let's have a focus on Tamara. Too many different things going on at the moment, so I'm just going to ask what my team would like me to know this week. All right. Oh, fantastic, Tony. That's awesome. What's what point has stood out for you so far, Tony? I'd like to know. Your team's being very quiet, Tamara, about what cards they want to use today or would like to use today. Interesting. So we got that one as a start. Cool. Okay. Look, she'll love it. So that's good. At least you can rest easy knowing that she'll be in a really lovely home and just enjoying life. You know, I think that's the hardest part. But it's made so much easier when you know that they're going to a lovely home where they're going to be well looked after. Ooh, journaling. Interesting. Yeah, I know, Tamara. I'm like, hello. Where'd you go? And they're just like, It was what they were doing. It was like, hey guys, where? How was your trip tomorrow? Pretty sure I've got the right person in mind. Yeah, I hope you're better at journaling than I am. Funny thing is, I'll journal for a course. I'll journal because I have to for an assignment or something like that. But I won't journal for myself. The weather wasn't too bad either, if I remember rightly, from last weekend. Yeah, that's what I thought. It wasn't too bad. You picked well, my dear. You picked very well. I actually saw on my thermometer today, it got to like 21 today. I was like, woohoo, that's awesome. You know, I hung out my clothes, my washing, heavy work washing, and it was like just on midday. It was all dry by the end of the day. Amazing. Who would have thought? Okie dokie. She was also talking about ghosts and how to sort them out, etc. Ooh, or talk to them. Cool. Yeah. That's funny, Tamara. 13 degrees. Oh dear. Okay, so we've got some interesting things popping up in here. So I'm actually going to read the Mystique of Magdalene first, okay? Because this is the order that they would like me to read it to you in. Hopefully there's not too much reading today. So I get the sense of, even just looking at this, there's a lot of forward movement happening now. And this is a really interesting space. You know, it's like that preparation for a trip thing and then starting out on the trip. That's what all these cards together just sort of feel like. 13 degrees. Oh, wonderful, Tony, that they helped you with the stuff that happens in the rest time. That's fantastic. I'll come back to the temperature discussion in a minute. So we've got Salome's destiny, which is move on. Okay. There's the best spot. Gather the lessons learned and apply them to the next place or project. This could be in another location or partnership. Mary Salome was with Mary Magdalene on the boat that arrived in Santas Marias de la Mer in southern France. Salome was a favorite disciple of Mary Magdalene and was a constant companion to her in the Holy Land and then later in Provence. Salome is written about as a much-loved sister of Yeshua. Mary Magdalene taught Salome the secret feminine mysteries and the Shekinah light transmissions. Gnostic tradition says she became Mary's successor after her death and continued to travel and teach. This tradition was passed from mother to daughter for hundreds of years. European rulers sought the women for marriage to incorporate prestigious bloodline of the vine into their royal families. For instance, the line of kings called Merovingians, from the root words mer, being Mary, and vin, being vine, hid Mary's legacy in plain sight. It's time to go forward and break away from the past. If you have a relationship question, things may be stimulated by movement or change, or may be finished. You will know as time goes on and can act accordingly. Okay? So like I said, even... Yeah, sorry. So you said, yes, found out on Monday my office job contract finishes in a couple of weeks. Okay. I'm going all in on my business. Yes. Oh, Lordy works. Yes. Oh, Lord works. Oh, Lord works. So basically, Mary Magdalene's like, way to go forward. It's time. It's time. Okay. We've got manifestation is your next card, which is be very honest and clear about what you wish to manifest in your life. Now write it down on a piece of, write it down on paper. Manifestation step 1. So let me just double check what the rest of that says, if there's anything else. Okay, this might be helpful for a lot of people. So let me read this for you. One of the simplest manifestation techniques is to write down what you wish to manifest, whether it's an idea, a wish, or a dream. Be honest with yourself and very clear about what it is that you wish to happen. Once it exists on paper, it exists in the physical world. Can it really be that simple? In a word, yes. Another great way to do this is to say, I wish to manifest, and then write your idea, wish, or dream, or something better in my life. Next, think of the practical steps that you can take to start the process of bringing your idea into the world, always remembering that your plan must respect the free will of others. Intention is key here, for it is our intent that directs the flow of energy in our life, like a magnet. Stay fully focused and allow the fairy of manifestation to guide you during this magical exercise. Try to do one thing every day towards manifesting your idea, wish, or dream, and trust in the process. Be sure to keep a lookout for any fairy signs that may appear along the way and follow their advice. This way, you're allowing the divine universal intelligence to help you manifest in all the best way for achieving the highest good of all. Right. The next card that we've got is friendship. Fairies and humans alike need friends. Now is the time to seek out those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. So this is really important when you're stepping out into this world of doing your own business and going all in on your business and stuff like that. A support network is really, really important for that. And just reaching out to people who are of a like mind, or not necessarily in the same exact business as you, unless they're really beautiful, non-competitive people, but certainly reaching out to friends who are just like, fuck yeah, go for it, you've got this, girl, and just can give you that little bit of a pep up when you're kind of feeling like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. So please reach out to your friends, keep them in the loop. All right, even if they're not in the same business as you. So, like, for example, I had my review today for my job, and like I was fairly confident even going into it that I was going to be absolutely fine. But it's always that little bit of like, and stepping out into the world of doing business for yourself, that's a whole other ball game. That comes with a really big different set of stresses. So I would absolutely be thinking about having a look to see if you can join up with something like a business group of some sort. There is business networking type groups that would potentially help you get your name out there too. Make sure you're getting yourself out there on, say Facebook groups that are relevant to what you're doing. Even doing things like speech type, like places that get you to do speeches. So back in the old days, we used to do things called Toastmasters. I know that there's the Speakers Institute or something like that here in South Australia. I'm sure there's something up your way that does stuff like that too. Just to get your confidence up with putting yourself out there. There's loads of little networking groups that do get together. So I highly recommend. That's another way to develop some friendships that are for even just like a women in business type friendship groups, because women and men do things differently sometimes. So definitely start gathering a few more of those group type things. Go to those meetings if they have in-person meetings, because it's one thing to be in a group, it's another thing to actually put yourself out there physically and meeting other people physically and having to get involved in and speaking about your business, and that sort of thing. Magical blessings is your next card. Whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy blessings. The fairies say you can bless others too. Yay! So, like I said, I'm getting a lot of really good positive movement forwards for you. So it's definitely a really, really lovely reading. It's I think our last one, if I can vaguely remember, I don't really remember too many readings at all, but it was kind of like just let's take a breath now. Enjoy some rest time, because you're going to need your rest moving forward. Now you've had your little trip away, and now it's time to move forward again. In saying that, interestingly, the last card that we've got for you is solitude. So let's see what this one's all about. So think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those who wait silently during your quiet times. Oh. With this, I get that with everything going on, Rick, bloody groupie. Ground. Make sure you're doing your grounding processes. Make sure you're getting out in nature. Make sure you're getting your feet on the ground or hands on the trees or whatever. When we're doing business, and unless you're a landscaper, we tend to be, I saw it coming up in an advert for like QuickBooks or something like that the other day of like, I really love my business, but now I'm doing admin all the time rather than doing what I actually really truly love. And it's like, yeah, exactly. So make sure you get out there and keep yourself in balance with nature as well while you're going through this forward motion space and connecting with others and doing all the things. It's like, make sure you're grounding too. Okay. All right, let's have a look at your yummy card. Cool. I'm glad that makes a lot of sense. Oh dear. It actually made a lot of sense to me too. So. Now, interestingly, there was one card that popped out that I shoved back in and it hasn't come back out again, but there is another card that's come out that's just as relevant, and it is Dream. The other card that came out was Support. So it's basically just adding to your reading that you've already had today of just making sure that you support your dreams, support your dreams and allow other people to come in and support you too. Not necessarily like on the payroll or anything like that, but it's more about the feeling of being like you're not alone, because that's probably the hardest thing about being in business, especially as somebody who's maybe like a sole trader, something like that. It's like it's very lonely, which is why the support, the groups, the business, the women in business type groups are really important. Okay, get more active with those ones. All right, thank you so much, Tamara. I'm really appreciated of your donation, your time, your energy, your contribution to Find Your Fridays. So grateful for you. Yay. And I'm looking forward to seeing you moving forward, continuing to move forward with your business, and wishing you all the success you could possibly wish for and even more. All right, write it down. That's how the quantum dynamics works. As soon as you've written it down, it's somewhere in a physical plane. And then it's just up to you to access that. So that's pretty cool, hey? All right, Christine, my dear. Okay. So that was a nice gentle reading, wasn't it, Tamara? It was lovely. It's nice not to get your ass kicked every single week. Hi, Edwina. Hello, darling. Okay. Christine, I'm gonna pull a couple of cards for this one. Because having worked in the disability sector for 6.5 years, and also seeing my granddad go through dementia, as well as many clients who I see now in the same sort of spot. I hate to tell you this, but if he's in dementia stages, there's fuck all you can do. It's just a process that it has to be worked through. And I wish it was different. I wish there was something, some magical cure, or something I could give or say to you that would help your dad with his memory. Unfortunately, in this day and age, we still can't yet. And the short-term stuff, yep, that's what goes first. So he'll remember stuff easy peasy from when he was young, but what he did last week, probably not. And that's really hard. That's tough. And I know that there's other stuff going on that you've put in the comments above, to do with lawyers, etc. So I'm going to try doing a couple of cards. Okay. Tomorrow. Yeah, it was a nice change. We all need a nod. Maybe you needed the ass kicking. I think we all do sometimes. So what I'm going to do here, Christine, is I'm just going to ask the question of what do you require to know, or how can you best support your dad at this point? I mean, a urologist and a rheumatologist are completely different things. And as is a GP. He was getting confused as to urologist and rheumatologist and the doctor when I was with him, and he said he needs to see urologist specific, made the appointment. I already informed them both prior to their 21-day trip, and they came back yesterday with medication affecting his kidneys, according to the pharmacist. Oh, yeah, then he definitely does require to go and see the urologist. Okay. Our lovely Heal Yourself cards have come out for you. So the first card that is coming through in relation to what do you require to know and how can you best support your dad is rejection. Okay. So use rejection to grow, expand, and build yourself. Feeling rejected can disconnect you from your heart and soul and immobilize you. Rather than buying into rejection, focus on how you can grow, learn, and improve from your experiences. If you're a writer and you sent your articles to a book or a publisher and they have rejected it, then try to hone your writing skills and send your work out to several other publishers. Use that rejection as a motivating force to succeed. If a person that you have feeling for or a deep love towards has rejected you, then work on healing your heart and recognizing that there is someone else out there who is more suited to you. Many people use rejection as an excuse to close down and become suspicious, guarded, and give up. Then they hurt and reject others. They hide behind rejection and never give themselves an opportunity to take a leap of faith and find their life calling and heal. By picking this card, you are being urged to hold yourself in a higher regard. Keep your heart open and trust that you have learned from your experiences and will not make the same mistakes again. So what I'm getting with this beautiful card here is there's obviously some very deep feelings of rejection in your world from your dad and the situation there with B, and just feeling like you're being shut down a lot, and it's like you're his daughter. So therefore, at the end of the day, you'd think most people would go, well, surely she's got his best interest at heart, but that's not always the way. I'm not saying that is the way for you. Like, you definitely do have his best interest at heart. There is also, it's tricky because there's a partner involved, right? And so this partner person that's come into his life, from what you've told us, appears to be kind of whittling away his income, his cash, his reserves, and now is starting to dip into what, inheritance type stuff that your mum put away. And like, that's scary for you. Very scary. And I'm sure anybody here listening would be going, well, yeah, for sure. I think at the end of the day, if you're really serious about trying to take it further, then do. Keep going with the lawyers, see what you need to get, but just realize that they're not going to work on conjecture. You have to have proof. Okay? Your next card that you've got is cycles. So proof can be bruises. If she's going physical on him, then proof is in the bruises, and old people bruise really easy. Cycles is the second card that we've got for you. So life is cyclical. Sometimes things flow, and at other times they slow down. What cycle of your life are you in right now? What is the one area of your life where you require focus most of your energy? Is it time to focus on your family? Do you require alone time to discover your true purpose? Do you yearn to open your heart and love fully, deeply, and passionately? Is this the time for healing and regeneration? Maybe you are completely ready to enthusiastically concentrate on your life purpose and put all your energy and effort into making your dreams a reality. Each cycle you encounter offers you fresh gifts and possibilities to learn and grow. The better you become at identifying the cycle you are in, the more flow and harmony you will experience with the choices you make. So with all of these two cards together, the other message that I'm getting for you is where's your training, you had to go and sit an exam. Have you done that? have you continued to focus a little bit on your career stuff, the things that are going to bring you the most passion and joy? Or have you been putting so much focus on everybody else and everything else? The properties, your dad, all that sort of stuff. Because that was two messages that were very strong in there too. It's like, have you actually focused on your dreams, your goals, and your passions? Because the things, if you're not focusing on that at the moment, obviously it's time. Your team is telling you this is the time to start focusing on that too. Okay, you've got to have. Okay, oh man, I didn't want to say this conversation. Oh, okay. So, this is something that I've noticed across my time of working in disability and around a lot of elderly people, and now as a cleaner. And if you are putting all of your focus and your energy into the stuff going on with your dad, when he passes, and he will, when he passes, it's going to leave a massive void in your life. And you'll have nothing to fall back on. And there's a very high chance that you will get sick. I have seen it over and over and over again. So please start bringing in things now, like your studies, like your other career, your clinical psychology, all of that sort of stuff. Bring it in, the things that are going to give you joy and give you something to fill up the void. This is why people need to get out, do their own things, why they need to have to, why it's really important that people and couples have their own friendship groups and their own hobbies and stuff like that as well as doing stuff together, right? If you state board, yeah, cool, studying for the state boards, yes, that's right. If you focus so much of your energy and your time and your mental space on the stuff with your dad, there's a very high chance that your health, your well-being, and your mental health will all collapse when he passes away. And I wish to see you succeed in life, not be dragged down by this other situation off to the side. So I get that's what your team is trying to say, look, I know you're feeling rejected and I know you're feeling like you're just going through the ringer. It's okay. You have to follow your passions too. We wish to set you up for success so that you're not going to completely implode when your dad does pass. Okay? It's so funny. I love it when my eyeballs do weird stuff because I read studying for the state boards and what I saw was skateboards. And the word that we've got is joyous. So please find the things in your world to bring you some joy because you've got too much cortisol going on in your system right now. Way too much. It's time to even some of that out. Go find some fun things to do. Go see a funny movie or spend some time with some friends that make you laugh a lot. Go do some good, yummy things for you too. Okay? Hope that helps, Christine. Yeah. If everything goes down with your dad like it is at the moment, you've got two choices. You can just go, it is what it is. I'll protect myself as best as I can. He's not going to live forever and hope to fuck he doesn't die because she kills him. and or I can fight it. I can keep working with the lawyers. I can, do all of that sort of stuff. It's really up to you. Okay, Christine. Hi, Paul. How are you? Heading to Wildwood, NJ. What's NJ? New Jersey? Beach. And you love the beach. Yes. I'm a forest girl. I love the forest. I love the nice, deep, thick forest. Yes. The beach is nice, but I'm not a big fan of getting sand between my toes. I'll put up with it, sort of thing. I'll work with it, but and have that bit of allowance for it. But yeah. All right. So we have Francesca next. Jump back up. Okay. Oh, my friends, I love reading. Did I ever see the movie Jaws? No. I saw Titanic, though. That was scary enough. But I'm very well aware of the movie Jaws. Christine, I would honestly, I would ask to get your cortisol levels checked, love. I think you'll find your cortisol levels are really, really fucking high, and that's why you're getting a lot of bleeding. And I'll just do it right now. Sorry, Francesca, I'll just do it quickly. Yes. No. Show me a no, please. Thank you. Truth is Christine bleeding because she has high cortisol levels currently. Yep. That's all it is, love. You're stressed, your cortisol's too high, your adrenaline's too high, your body is just reacting accordingly. And for some women, when there's stress, and so when their cortisol and adrenaline is too high, they bleed. Yeah. So if you really wish to see some improvement, you're going to have to work really actively on getting your cortisol and your adrenalines down, getting your happy hormones back up, your dopamines, your oxytocins, and your, what's the other one? I can't remember what the other one is. But yeah, you're going to have to work really, really consistently on actually balancing out your stress. So you've got to ask yourself, is that actually going to be, is it worth it to harm your body? All right, Miss Francesca. Yes, I can swim. I can, yes, Paul. I can swim. Used to love swimming. I'm also a rivers girl. So I used to swim in the rivers. I'm all right with the pool. But I'm just not an oceans girl. Just not. Also, when I've had some past life stuff with oceans that I've worked through, and also when I was 15, I got dumped by a wave, which meant that I was folded over backwards and my feet hit my head. which caused me to have nothing serious, but it was very achy and a bit scary, feeling like a roly-poly ball, just go out of the water. That was a bit scary. So, yeah, I don't know, just not a fan. There's not so many things that can kill you in a river. So in the ocean, especially here, there's a lot of things that can kill you, and I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. I'll listen to it. I'll sit on the beach. Yep. But no. Give me the gentle rumbles of a river any day. Okay. Francesca, what does she require to know? Okay, cool. Amanda, you're after Francesca, okay? Amanda, I like being in the boat in the ocean, but sand and sharks and giant octopus, seaweed, put me off swimming in it. Yeah, all of that. Okay. All right, Francesca, got a couple of cards for you. So the first card, so the question is Doug's energy towards you, right? So what I asked was, what do you require to know? I'll come back to that one, Melinda, because I completely agree. So this card says there is a wild, untamed spirit inside of you, desperate to be unleashed. Free it and claim the gifts of energy, power, passion, and creativity it offers you. When you are sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting for someone to hurry up and get their act together, you are literally doing this. You are taming your wild, free, untamed spirit inside of you, and you're basically killing yourself. You are stopping yourself from living your best life, and you are not allowing yourself to live everything that you wish to live for yourself. Okay? When the right person comes along for you, there is no questions about that sort of thing. There is no question of, how does this person feel about me? I can tell you, for all the relationships that I've been in, I used to ask that question until my most recent relationship. I no longer have to ask that question because I already know. All my other relationships activated my anxious side, something fucking chronic, every single day. Even when I was single and just dating, and some people came along, but I still was asking that very same question. And it's a really bloody good sign from your team and from your heart that you can't, that's not the right person for you. All right. Next card that came out for you is self-sabotage. Okay. Become conscious of how your inner saboteur functions. You're about to sabotage a big opportunity. So if you're sitting there waiting for this person that you're already like, I don't know how they feel about me. I don't know what their energy is towards me. I don't know whether they'll change what they need to change. I don't know whether they'll do whatever they need to do to get there. You're already sabotaging yourself. And you're stopping yourself from being open enough to be able to receive the person in your world who's actually going to be incredible for you. Okay? So, Paul, no. The lovely gentleman who just commented before you on the Facebook is the current partner. So, yeah, just be aware that while you're sitting there waiting, you're sabotaging some really big opportunities that are coming through into your life, because you're currently in that space of lack. You're sitting in the space of, I don't deserve it. It's the only thing I'm good for. It's just, you're just crying out to be loved. But the thing is that the one person that requires that love, like, it's the love that you have to give to yourself. And until you really get that, you're going to keep attracting unavailable people. And I can tell you that from experience, right? It's not a nice thing to hear. And I wish more of my friends had the courage to tell me that. But it is what it is. So let me tell you from my experience. Please take care of yourself first. Okay? Rick, he's going to put his phone away, roll over and just listen. So I could fall asleep. Yes, you probably will. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you later, or tomorrow. But anyhow, your team is being very, very clear, Francesca. They're asking you to focus on yourself. Okay? And your yummy card was soften. So this is about you loving you. Okay? Stop trying to find love in all the wrong places. It's not going to do you any good. Okay? It's time for you to start going on your own feminine journey and loving you. Okay? Sending you lots and lots of love, my dear. Many blessings, and thank you so much for your contribution. And I hope that you can move forward. Yes, Rick, he is on YouTube, but it's actually on the very edge of the screen. There's a new function there. Excuse me. And guess who just moved some energy? All right. Amanda, it is your turn. Oops, these cards away. You don't want those cards out. Ew. All right. So Melinda's comment about the sand, which made me giggle. Oh, cool, Paul. You've got a California trip coming up. Oh, my God, there's so much happening in there. Jeepers creepers. Melinda's comment was finding sand in all the wrong places. Yes, exactly. Yeah, the wrong places are not fun. Tony said we used to have a launch. Loved it when I was a kid. When you're a kid, you don't worry about things like that. That's so true. You don't feel the cold the same way either, which is always a bit funny. Okay. Paul is going to California in June. June the 2nd. Can't wait. Seeing the ocean. Woohoo! That's all right. It's all right, Rick. Paul's going to put me at the back of his little book. You're a funny fella. Amanda said she got a really bad sand burn across the top of her hoha after being dunked by a wave. Oh, had to put cream on it for a couple of weeks. As bad as carpet burn. Oh my God, no thank you. Oof. No. Yeah, oof. Oh, Paul. Look, you got to experience everything once. That's why I went to America back in 2009, so I could experience a white Christmas. White Christmas was heaps of fun. I loved it. All right. Amanda's team. Hi. Hello. Which cards would you like to play with today? Okay. And Tony, you're after Amanda, okay? Paul says in Hollywood they say he's the one. I don't know that. What? How much have you drunk today, Paul? In Hollywood, they will say, he the one, I am a star. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's a movie reference. I don't understand. I'm out of the loop apparently on that joke. Put me in the movies. Yes. I don't think so. You know, I've thought about stuff like that from time to time of like, what would I do if I was famous? Would I actually wish to have that? And I'm like, I don't know that I would actually. I'm happy being a little bit famous in my own little world. Or like I'm now at a point because I've lived in Adelaide for so long that I now, when I go out places, sometimes I see people that I know, especially if I go to something like the Mind Body Psychic or something like that, which reminds me, that's on this weekend. I forgot. Friends of mine are going to be having a stall there for Enagic and Kangan. Last time I went, that was, gosh, shit, that was like 3 years ago now. Wow. Far out, time flies. Holy moly. Any more cards? No, I was just shuffling for the sake of shuffling. How cool is that? Okay. there another one floating around for you? There it is. Yes, it would. It would have been over at Brooke's stall. Yes, Amanda, that is absolutely correct. Because that was before had I started my own podcast at that stage? I think I had. But I definitely appeared on Brooke's podcast by that stage and hung out with him a bit and stuff. So, all right. So let me have a look and see what you've got. Yeah, I walked into that show. I didn't even walk in the front door, and I met somebody that I knew. Within half an hour, I'd seen 4 different people that I knew, and that was not even Brooke. Like, it was like there's 4 other people just walking through, just wandering around. It was like boom, 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 and I'm like, holy crap! How did I get so well known? This is weird. I'm used to being quite anonymous, and then it was just like, oh, far out. And I thought, that's just me being me at that stage, and I've lived here a while and stuff, and I'm in the circles and that, but not like some people are, So yeah, that was a bit of a weird moment for me. Alrighty. So this is the extra card that came out, which is the best blessing of the Beltane Dew. The fairy gift of feeling beautiful and awakening to your own attractive qualities. With every footstep, a magical dew drop is created on the Beltane dawn. When Beltane morn breaks, with the sweetest birdsong and the scent of holy fires lit with sacred woods, fairies dance in the delicate leaves and flowers. On the oak and the moss, and everywhere they dance, they leave the dew, shining like crystals in precious chalices of root and tree and petal and leaf. When you receive this card, the blessing of the Beltane Dew comes to you, redolent with its life-affirming properties, restoring you to beauty, reviving the soul's energies, giving a sense of being filled with an elixir that brings us back to our sweetest of selves. In ancient times, and still to this day, those who knew the secrets collect the fairy dew or go skyclad and have the clover bath that would bring back to us all the years of vital life. The dew energizing, revitalizing, restoring, and returning us to youthful vitality and presence. The blessing and the gift of the Beltane Dew is yours now. With this card, and to you, the fairies say, be well in face and form. Express your beauty, and do not forget that however many years you have lived upon this earth, your spirit is free and alive, attractive and restored. Enjoy the gift of the Beltane Dew, friend, and know thou art beautiful. Aww, that was so lovely. I love that. See you next time. Have a great week, Paul. I love that. And I love that it's talking about the dew. I'm like, I feel like all this rain and stuff that you guys have been having is going to be easing up really, really soon. I think that's part of what that's saying. It's like, it's going to get back to just a nice dewy morning for you. And you're just like, ah, cool. And also connecting in with the trees and stuff. The next card that we've got is gold, which is about attracting abundance. Now, abundance can happen in a lot of different ways. It's not necessarily talking about financial abundance, But it can be an abundance of peace. It can be abundance of love. It can be an abundance of experiences. It can be an abundance of good, bad, ugly, and awesome moments. So I wonder what else you could be attracting at the moment that is abundant in your life besides the rain and the floods, that could contribute towards you moving forward with your life in a bit of a different, or supporting your current journey, I should say. All right. Your next card that we've got there is turquoise, which is about awakening your empathy. So I'm hearing that a lot of what you're experiencing and the reason why you're having to be where you are is because your empathy for the community around you that you don't actually know. This is an experience that you required to have for your journey to expand that out some more. Maybe you've got an abundance of empathy now. And with that, so yes, my head's itching, which means we're on the right track, right? So it's not that you didn't have plenty of empathy before, but now that you're traveling around and you're having these experiences, and now you're in a community that is being really heavily affected by these floods and things, you're feeling things from a really different perspective. And that is contributing to your overall life journey. Okay? So that's really cool. The next card, interestingly, we've actually got two body cards as next. So the first card is yellow, which is about purifying your body. So while you're out and about and doing things, and I know you can't move about very much at the moment because of the flooding and that, but have you spent perhaps time doing some really good, deep, purifying type meditations and things? I'm just wondering if with this awakening of your empathy, that's what it is, you're going to have to make sure you're flushing other people's energy through your system, so you're not holding on to all of that pain and the grief and the heartache that's going on for people around you right now. Be aware of it, but don't let it stick with you. Keep your peace, keep your calm. Be loving, obviously. It's not about cutting it off. It's about acknowledging it. Okay, I'm perceiving that right now, expanding out, using that wonderful expanding out tool, expanding out and just going, okay, I'm aware of it. It's cool. Like, thank you for showing me it's not mine. It's okay. It's okay that I'm aware of it. It's okay that it's sad, and it's okay that it's not mine. Okay, so make sure you're letting go of other people's stuff at the moment. Okay, and in doing so, you will get the ruby card, which is rejuvenating your body. Because when we're holding on to, when we're empathic, and we're healers, and just empathic in general, though, even if we don't consider ourselves to be healers, there is a point where it can get too much for us, and it can start affecting our bodies and our cellular structure. And it does that by raising our cortisol levels. Yay for the cortisol and the adrenaline. But that is our fight flight mechanism, right? That's caveman stuff that we still carry because it's part of our DNA. And in the situation you're in, that could be incredibly valuable right now. Like you need to be able to get up and move really quickly should you require it. But if you hold on to that other people's stuff, not just your own, you're going to find yourself getting a little bit like wonky in it and stuff. So please take some time to center yourself again, ground, purify, do whatever you require to do. I wonder if she gives any hints or tips into the yellow. Let me just have a look. Oh, what number is it? 22. Okay, when you get some sunshine next. So it's 1 hour and 25 minutes, nearly 26 minutes, okay? Purification. Go outside, spend a few minutes looking at and feeling the rays of sun on your skin. Imagine bright yellow sunlight moving through your whole digestive system, cleaning your intestines, your pancreas, and bowels of all toxicity and waste. Sense the density dissolving and your organs becoming clean and healthy. Pour some water into a yellow glass and put it in the sunlight for half an hour. Then drink this water while focusing on purifying your body, heart, and mind. And say, I allow my mind and body to be cleansed inside and out. There you go. Yay for Ina Segal. That was like the second deck of cards that I ever got in my whole entire life. I think we just cleared some energy. I love it when we can just do that. We just read shit and it just happens. Imagination is your yummy card. So just keep your creative projects going, because that will help keep you calm and centered as well. Okay. And I wonder how you can use those gifts of your creativeness to give you more peace and calm and clarity at this time. Thank you so much, Amanda, for your beautiful contribution, your very generous contribution. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you continue to be safe and have some fun with it, and obviously compassion for those who, empathy and compassion for those who are struggling right now. Can't be easy being in the center of all of that. So I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope everything gets settled and sorted really super soon, because it's not a pleasant time over there. I'm grateful for you too, Amanda. All right, Attorney. Oh, that would be nice if Paul got a reading next time, wouldn't it? I wonder what his would say. Ooh, Tony, goodness, you got some energy to move. Whew. Okay. I'm going to run out of space on my table in a minute. And now we've cracked open the third deck of cards that I ever got in my whole entire life. Aw, Tony. That's a really sweet thing to say. Thank you. Half the deck just tried to escape across the computer. Gotta love that. Yeah, there's always something interesting that pops up, isn't there, Tony? Always something. All right. First of all, before I read this card, it could be because of the card deck that we're working with, that you know how your team will choose cards that are like the closest that they can get. Sometimes it's not necessarily the softest way that they could describe what they want to say. So just keep that in mind as I open up this first card, okay? So it's cancel, clear, and delete. Use only positive words and thoughts as they are rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. On the surface, lovely. What I'm actually hearing with this one as I looked at it, though, was they're asking you to like find some peace around Nala not being with you. And that's why I'm like, just they're not, they've kind of brought it through it on a bit of a rough card, but no buts, it just is. And it's a rough time. And they're asking for you to just find some peace with that and try to not be in the space of holding on to negativity around Nala having to go, and just try to retain the positive parts about it rather than focusing on the fact that she's no longer with you at your place. Okay, it's not like she's gone. She's not like she's still alive and she's still happy and all of that. So it's like they're saying, yes, there's an acknowledgement of grief that you'll be going through right now, and also don't get stuck in it. Don't get stuck in that negativity because it's not going to help you. Okay. The next card that you've got, love, is the solar plexus chakra. It is safe for you to take charge of your life in positive ways. So, as we know, the solar plexus, it's our gut. It's trusting your gut. And it's what I'm also receiving with this card is you've done the right thing. And now you're focusing on your studies, which is fabulous. Keep doing that. And also that's interesting because it actually comes into your good old solar plex, your gut instinct, your gut intuition. You've been upset and listening to your ego a bit in that situation. Look, the thing is that you're allowed to feel sad about it. You're grieving. Like, grief is a process, and they just wish you to not hold into that grief too long. Like, be raw about it. Be open, be raw, just fucking let it go, and like, as in, let it out of your system. One of the most incredible, powerful things I saw, this is going back probably a few years now, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, was a lady who, there was a couple of people actually, two different instances, but they'd spliced them together on one video. And it was in a veterinary's office where their dogs had to have been put down. And they roared with grief, with sadness, with anger. It was like this massive primal goddess just outpouring of so much energy and grief and loss, and it was just fucking incredible to see that rawness captured on film. And thought to myself, this is what, say, the wolf packs and things like that, that's what it really reminded me of. Is like one of their sacred members had passed away, and so they sit with that and they howl. They go not just like a howl, no, they're going from the bottom of their guts. They're like howl, really big and loud, and so that it can be heard right across the valley. And I know that's tricky for you in the situation you're in. That's why we have pillows. And guttural screaming or howling is very, very therapeutic. I think that's also why we've got the solar plexus chakra coming in there, because you're holding on to a lot of grief and anger. And the other thing that's just come through is that this is going to be activating some old stuff for you around loss. So highly recommend that you journal on that as well. This reminds me of the time that, and go, and this is how I handled that, and now I would handle it in a different way, or this is how I feel about that now, or however it flows, or within the scope of your studies, how that is being handled. I would highly recommend, though, that be aware that this grief stuff is not the first time, and this is a time to heal some of that old stuff that will be getting activated, which is why your ego is being activated now too, because it's like, this is that whole Pluto stuff that I was talking about at the start of the show. These little things are activating those old stuff. Like for me, it's stuff that was like 20 plus years old, that like things that my ego has put in place to keep me safe. And I say safe. And it's now starting to break that particular structure away, that form and structure. It's starting to break apart and break away. And so that's really scary, right? So this is your moment too, to take this loss and make something really big and beautiful from it. And it's totally up to you, of course. It's like, how can I use this for my highest and best? How can I create this moment or use this moment for my highest and best, healing or growth or expansion of consciousness, or however you want to word that. Okay. The next card that you've got is your ear chakras. Now, I think Nala, you might not have realized because she was in such close quarters with you, but I think Nala can actually astral project. She can astral travel. And I think you're going to keep hearing her. And because she loves you so much, and she's going to miss you too. So don't be surprised if she still hangs around in the evening, in the nighttime, middle of the night, and you sort of wake up and you sort of like, Nala? Yeah, she's checking in on you. Okay, and I get the sense that she's going to continue to do that until you're no longer on the earthly plane. She's just going to keep checking in on you, regardless of whether she's earthbound or not, because she loves you that much. Okay. And I had the reason why I giggled when I looked at the cards was this card in particular says, "Have you asked your angels for help with this?" And I thought that is so funny because you're doing your course, you're doing your journaling, and you literally just said, "What would you like me to know?" So keep asking them. So that's the message here, is just keep asking, keep looking into what is it that you'd like to connect with, looking at those other people. Like you said, you were talking about ghosts earlier. Keep connecting in with your team though, and I think you'll find that things will smooth out a lot easier for you. Tony, you said, "I've been having happy moments too, because this is the first time in a long time I've been having happy moments." Wonderful. Yeah, keep focusing on those happier moments. You know, it's that whole thing of where the energy flows, the energy grows. Yeah, but yeah, she's an astral projector. Yeah, she didn't need to do it when she was with you. But yeah, I'll be curious to know. You're waking up in the middle of the night. You let me know, all right? Because yeah, I get the sense that she'll be floating around. You'll think you're hearing things. So your yummy card is about being receptive, okay? And keep being receptive to all of the beautiful information that is coming through to you at the moment, not only from Nala, but also from the course that you're doing and the beautiful people that are around you that love you, okay? I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing how you get along over this next few weeks. And again, sending you lots and lots of loves and hugs. And I know it's a tough time. So, and yeah, you know that you've made the correct decision for everybody involved. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm glad you weren't put under too much pressure. It's like it has to just be gone within 24 hours or something like that. I'm glad you got to ease that one through. Alrighty, and thank you so much for your very kind donation, Tony. I'm so grateful for you and all your love and support with the show and everything. I'm very, very grateful for you. Alrighty, my friends. I'm going to drop that out now. Yay. Okay. Apparently, we are going to go straight into a meditation. We do have the lovely new moon happening on Tuesday. So that means from tomorrow onwards, so this is going to be a lovely new moon week. Oh, thank you, Tony. So yeah, this is going to be a lovely new moon week. Now, traditionally, new moons for me are actually pretty nice. I actually don't mind a new moon. We'll see how we go with this one. The energies of a new moon don't tend to be quite as chaotic, but they can still be a little bit hectic. if that makes sense. A full moon is definitely fucking chaotic. I don't like new moons very much. They make people do really stupid shit on the road. Amanda, that's a beautiful suggestion. You should take time to reflect on all the great decisions that you've made. Nala, then whose time, and with the time that you had her, I'm sure she felt spoiled by you. Oh, yeah. Nala was not wanting for much at all. Right. Not interested in that one. So yes, great suggestion, Amanda. And yeah, absolutely. She was the most loved cat I've ever met. And yeah, you guys have a very special bond. Good memories. Very good memories. All right, so let's do our meditation, hey? Okay. So first of all, we're going to do our expanding out, because I love you guys to remember how to do that and be reminded of that each week, so that you can take even just that little tool off with you out into your day, into your week, moving forward, knowing that we might still get a little bit crunchy over the week. Hopefully not, but you never know. So let us take a big deep breath in and close our eyes. And breathing out. Breathing in, bringing that beautiful Mother Earth energy all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy and the unconditional love all the way up. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Even just doing that little piece there. The breath, the bringing Mother Earth energy up, the bringing Father Sky energy down. That can really help center and balance and ground you. Now we will expand out our awareness to become very beautifully aware of your body, aware of your breath as it moves in and out, of your organs, of your legs, of your knees, and way down to your feet, your arms, to your fingertips. Now expanding out your awareness and a big bubble all around you, up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness. Out beyond the size of the country that you're on. Out beyond the size of the planet. Expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the solar system, including Pluto. Expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the galaxies. expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the universes. Take a big deep breath in, right down to the bottom of your belly. And breathing out. Now we're becoming aware of our allowance. And our allowance takes us from being the tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and makes it so that we're like a big, fluffy cloud where we just float on by. And as we float by, we can see the truth of what that raging river is. It's just everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And you have ultimate choice whether you contribute to that raging river, respond to it, react to it, or just float on by. It's always a choice to do. Let's take our allowance and expand that out into a big bubble all around you. Now expanding it out, bigger than the country that you're on. Bigger than the planet. Bigger than the solar system. Expanding out your allowance, greater than the galaxies, greater than the universes, and greater than your awareness. Take a big deep breath in and out. Tonight, we're going to work on reclaiming some of our ancestral knowledge. This ancestral knowledge is in the very fabric of the earth that we walk on every day. It's all there. Just as our very one cell has all the information that we require to build an entire human being. Our ancestral knowledge is sitting under our feet or in the Akash, depending on which way you would like to talk about it. The imagery I'm receiving today is one where we're looking at reclaiming our stories, our myths, our legends, our ancestry. We've become so disconnected. It's time to reclaim that. So now imagine that you're sitting cross-legged on the ground, and it's easy for you to do that. And as you sit cross-legged onto the ground, your hands go beside your legs, so the palms are face down onto the ground. And the ground is nice and soft. And there's the warmth of Father Sky, of the sun coming from above you, but not too hot, just a pleasant sun. And as your hands are sitting on the ground, And you can feel the energy of Mother Earth moving up through you, out the top of your head, down your arms, back down into Mother Earth. And you can feel the energy of Father Sky moving down through your crown, all the way down through your body, up and around, and down through your crown again. There's a beautiful sweet spot in the middle where both Mother Earth and Father Sky are connecting within you. This is your key to unlock all the information that you could possibly require or desire at the moment about your ancestry, about your own legends, about your own stories that have been lost. So as you take that energy from that beautiful sweet spot, expand that out and move it down through your arms, through your hands, through your feet, through Mother Earth. And it's kind of like the old, imagine there is a library system, the old card system that we used to work with back in the day. And you're putting out the call throughout all of the universal knowledge that is stored within Mother Earth and contributed to with Father Sky. And as you put out the call to reclaim your ancestral knowledge, it goes through that lovely little filing system and it sends out energy pulses around the entire planet, calling back to you the knowledge that has been stored away for this very moment in time. It may be simple knowledge like how to build a fantastic garden or build or create the best recipe for mashed potatoes. I don't know, whatever it might be. Maybe it's that family recipe from your grandmother so many years beyond that nobody knew. All of that sort of information and so much more is now coming back through to you now. It'll be coming through as a lovely big download, so don't worry if you can't quite pick it apart just yet. It's okay. It'll come and it will unravel as time goes on. The most important thing right now is that you receive, that you are open to receiving all of this lost knowledge, this stored knowledge, ancestral stories and legends and myths. You may start to receive images of your ancestors and the sorts of things that they did. Maybe going back many hundreds, if not thousands of years. Trust that what you're seeing is true for you. You may see them on boats and carriages. You may see them as sailors, as farmers, as politicians, as healers, philosophers, whatever it is for you. Just trust that. And whatever knowledge that they have to share with you, feel free to be open to receiving that now. We give thanks and gratitude for all of the knowledge that they have. We give thanks for all of the information, the myths, the legends, the helpful advice. And as that information continues to roll up through us, so that we may consciously tap into that information, you see all those tendrils coming up through your legs, through your feet, through your hands, through your arms. You see that energy moving to whatever part of the body it is relevant for. Say thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Bring your hands up off of the ground and into Namaste. Into the prayer position to say thank you. And now both hands on your heart as you remind yourself of where you are right here, right now, in this present moment. And with all this knowledge, you are so much lighter now. So light, you're now floating up from the ground till you get to a point where you can stand with total ease by just unfolding your legs and you're suddenly standing. There's no having to support yourself on something else to get up, or crackly, groany legs or knees or ankles, or tight or tense muscles. You just float up and then unfold your legs. You're standing straight and proud, and with the knowing that you are an infinite soul with so much knowledge that you can now access with total ease. Now you're going to stand underneath that big, lovely waterfall, that crystalline waterfall, just to help integrate that knowledge and wash away anything that is ego-based, that is not helpful. Perhaps you're just ready to let it go now. Maybe with all of this knowledge being returned to you on a more conscious cognitive level, some of the ego stuff that you have put into place in this lifetime is no longer relevant. You can let that go now, let it wash away into Mother Earth. It's just energy to her, she doesn't care. She's happy for the contribution. And now stepping out onto your big warm river up. Big warm river up. And now taking a big warm deep breath in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up. And just feel how different that feels right now. And then bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And then Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. When you're ready, open your eyes. Please remember to have a nice drink of water. Help to ground yourself. Just settle as all this new information starts flowing through. You all are absolutely incredible beings with an incredible amount of knowledge and potency and capacity and empathy and you know, all the things that make you guys just so freaking magical. And it's an honor to be connected with you tonight. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You make my life more whole by being here. So please get out there this weekend or this week. Do something really tasty for yourself. Do something nice. Do something fun. Okay? And especially if you've been dealing with a lot of stress lately. Find something fun to do this weekend. And until I see you next week, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.